most of you, I think all of you know me, Jennifer Munoz from REACH. And I help run the Lighten Up and Get Fit Challenge, but I also run several REACH garden programs. So I thought it might be interesting to talk during a lunch and learn about how to grow food in small spaces. So people might trickle in, and that's fine. And there are other materials on the back table that you can take on your way out. But I just put them there so that, you know, if you really get interested, you can take them, but you're not forced to take a copy if you don't want one. So some of you might not be, you know, big garden folks like I am, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's definitely a greater interest in growing food at home. See if some of these things sound familiar to you. People are interested in growing food at home because it tastes fresher. That's clearly an important thing. You can also get a better variety of food than you can at the market, and a lot of people are starting to become interested in old-fashioned varieties, especially like tomatoes and peas and things like that. They've also proven to be higher in nutrients. And so if you're going to, you know, you're going to have 2 cucumbers and one of them you've just picked and the other one you got at the market, the one that you just picked is definitely going to give your body more nutrition. I think probably the biggest thing right now that people are interested in is growing food to help supplement their food budget. You know, a packet of seeds for $1, you can grow a lot of food from that packet of seeds. Sometimes even enough to put in the freezer or to can or to dry or whatever other project you might like to preserve for later in the season. But that's a real big interest right now. Seed catalogs have reported a 30% increase in sales each year during the past 2 years. So there's a huge interest right now. You can also get some light exercise, obviously, when you garden. It's good for the environment. You know, you can grow food without a lot of chemicals. That's not necessarily how the vegetables in the supermarkets are grown, and so you can actually do your part for the environment. What's nice about it, too, is it also helps you teach your kids and your grandkids and the other kids in your lives about how to be good environmental stewards. It's fun for everybody, really, and it's actually a really nice activity to do with family members or friends that might have special needs. So if someone is older or if somebody has a limitation of some kind, almost any kind of gardening that you can do, you can find something for somebody to do that they can manage, given their limitations. Obviously, if it's right at your home, your food is conveniently located. You know, you don't have to drive anywhere to get it. You can walk outside and get it. And a lot of the vegetables are really beautiful to look at, as well as feeding your family. Another big thing that's been happening lately is people are really worried about food safety. We've had so many recalls, especially salad greens. And people are starting to get anxious about that. And especially a lot of our vegetables and fruits are traveling from countries that we might not have a lot of control over the, you know, import-export process. So people get anxious about that too, and I guess rightly so. But the last thing that, I don't know if any of you know about that, Michelle Obama has decided to start a garden on the White House lawn. And so she has school children involved and obviously her own children involved. And so that's kind of raised the awareness about growing food at home. So those are just some of the things that I've noticed because this is something that I'm kind of interested in. There's a lot going on. A lot of people are very interested. But then people always say, okay, well, what can you grow in a small space? I'm not a farmer. I don't have a tractor. I don't have a rototiller. What can I realistically do? Okay. Let me remind you that some folks might remember victory gardens. Have you heard that phrase before? Victory gardens? Okay. During World War II, when the UK was really plugging folks to grow victory gardens, they managed to grow 40% of their food need. That's a lot. So that was just, you know, it was a nationwide push, and people were really focused. And for the UK, which has an ocean all around it and couldn't get a lot of stuff from other places, they managed to meet 40% of their food needs. That's huge. You also might have heard of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Anybody heard of that? Archaeologists believe that those were container gardens with flowers and vegetables and fruits. So apparently that was pretty amazing. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. So if they can manage to pull that off and have it be a wonder of the world, I'm confident that most of us can grow something in our houses that would be satisfying. Almost any plant can be grown in a small space. There are some that don't do great, but almost any plant can. And what we're finding now is seed companies are discovering compact varieties, bush varieties, sort of so-called patio varieties. Okay, so those plants are very manageable on a small scale. A lot of plants are also vining. And if you grow them vertically, you actually can maximize your space. What do I mean vertically? You know, just doesn't go up on its own. You do need a trellis or something to guide the plant up a stake or up a trellis. But it's pretty easy to grow a wide variety of plants. There's a book that I recommend, and it's on your list of resources, and it's called All New Square Foot Gardening. This is a guy who supposedly invented square foot gardening many years ago, and he recently revised this book, so this is in print. The idea is you don't have to be a farmer. You don't have to have acres and acres and acres. Each plant has a space need, okay? And if you were to think about 1 square foot, 1 tile on the floor, you look at that as you're walking in the hallway, 1 square foot, what can grow in there? Okay? So let me tell you what can grow in there. And you might be surprised. You might decide suddenly you have room to grow stuff. In 1 square foot, you could grow 1 head of cabbage, or 1 head of broccoli, or 1 head of cauliflower. You could grow 4 heads of romaine lettuce, or of red lettuce, or of some type of green leaf lettuce, or other types of salad greens. You can grow 4 of those in 1 square foot. You could actually grow 5 pounds of sugar peas in 1 square foot if you used the vine capability of growing upward. You could get 5 pounds. You could grow 8 bunches of Swiss chard. You could get 9 bunches of spinach. You could get 16 small ball-type carrots. Have you seen those little Paris round carrots? You don't get them in the market because they're sort of a specialty. They're short. You could grow 16 beets, which means you also get the beet greens. You could grow 16 long carrots if you wanted long ones, and you could grow 32 radishes. So in a square foot, you can actually grow quite a bit. The gentleman in the book has sort of similar to me. He likes gardens that are kind of tidy, and that's why this system works well for me and might work well for other people. He sort of created a system of raised beds, which are 4 foot square, so 4 by 4. Okay? And based on the 4 by 4 square bed, he teaches you how to do a raised bed made out of wood. Okay? He likes to divide it up with lath so that you can actually see where your square foot is. Don't know if you need to do that. I don't necessarily do that. Sometimes I just make a little mark on the side on the wood or something like that. But he actually, does amazing vegetable gardens and flowers and herbs, although we'll focus mainly on vegetables today, just based on what you can fit in a square foot. And you can plant what you like. I mean, if all you want is tomatoes, plant tomatoes. I like a little variety. I like a little bit of everything. So right now in my garden I have 3 different kinds of sugar snap peas. I have Asian stir-fry greens. I have 5 different kinds of lettuce. I have radishes. I have green onions. What else did I put in? Swiss chard and carrots. So even like right now, even though we're just now starting the season, all that stuff's in my garden and going to be growing. I'll be harvesting in about a month. So it doesn't take a lot. Let's see, what was I going to show you? I can pass this around. You can kind of see in the picture the beds, and then you can see he sort of made like a little trellis so you can grow stuff up. So I'll pass it around and you can take a peek at what that looks like. A lot